was just getting into the game, and it was postcards to pre-foreclosures. And this guy phoned me back
Uh-huh.
up, and I'm
Uh-huh.
seeing that he's in pre-foreclosure, but it turns out he wasn't. And
Okay.
so many months later, now I lucked out because I was talking with him and I was in contact with him, and he just wanted to get rid of this property. He had been scammed by the builder. It was bad work that they did. He tried to sell it in 2012, couldn't sell it because it was just so horrible on the inside. Pictures looked nice, but it was just really bad work.
Yeah. Pictures can fool.
Yeah. So then he got a quote from somebody who was going to come in and do some work, and he had a friend that's a tenant in the house
Hmm.
who worked as a general contractor. And when they got the quote, it was like way higher than they expected.
Oh,
And I
wow.
think he just lost like all hope. He knew that it was going to be like that for everything else that he needed to fix. So he just phoned me up.
That is such a good point though, man, because there are a lot of people out there that are going to try to get into this real estate game, especially right now when I don't know about you, but I expect that this market is going to shift probably around January. I'm expecting once all this stuff kind of, breaks loose, and you're going to have a lot of disenchanted people. Like they're just not going to want to deal with it. Then you're going to have the scam artists who are going to be overcharging people for work, and all that stuff is getting ready to boil over, I think. And we're going to start seeing some very unique stuff in the marketplace that we can well, I say take advantage, in
Well,
terms of, take advantage of the opportunity, not take advantage of people.
you're not saying it maliciously. I
Okay. Yeah, you understand.
Um, absolutely. The perspective, a great perspective I heard was that, um, well, in 2008, it affected everybody,
Yeah.
people with the money and the people without money.
Yeah.
But now it's just going to affect, homeowners and the people that are in a good position financially. They probably won't be affected at all.
No, no. And those people who are able to adjust themselves in terms of creating incomes in this new economy, they'll be fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They'll be fine. That includes us.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, but
Anybody investing.
yeah, it does, because it includes us because we understand a particular methodology. We're developing a particular skill set that's actually going to be valuable, I think,
Mm-hmm.
to relieve a lot of people of circumstantial pressure
Yeah.
caused by the shift.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Absolutely.
yeah. So there's a lot of people who are still employee minded or looking for jobs and stuff. And what we're going to find out is that there's going to be a lot of jobs that just no longer exist.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Right? There's
Yeah.
going to be a lot of jobs that just simply don't exist any longer. And people are going to have to figure out a way to, create income and do stuff that's unique from what they did before.
That's right. Yeah.
I feel fortunate to be in a situation to, have the skill set that we're learning, and, be able to actually create some value for some people during this, coming shakeup.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. It's a shakeup.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, I got caught up right in the middle of the 2008. I was a mortgage company partner,
Hmm.
so we lost everything. I mean everything.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was doing rehabs. I had like 7 rehabs going at one time, only to learn certain lessons, like the story you just told about the guy, to
Mm-hmm.
show up at my properties and find that there was nobody working, and that the
Yeah.
work that they did do was shabby.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
man, you talk about your heart just sinking to the ground and realizing that everything you work for is getting ready to go up in smoke. It was a terrible time.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was a terrible time. So, this time I'm going to be in position. They're not going to get me again. I believe that. Hey,
There you
good
go.
morning, everybody. Um, Thanks for sharing with that, Neil. I appreciate it, man. Congratulations on your deal, man.
Well, thanks.
That's awesome stuff. Maybe you could tell us a little bit more about it. What kind of numbers, and what do you plan? How do you plan on disposing? Just so you guys know, me and Neil were talking about a deal he just found. This disgruntled owner, someplace in New Mexico, and the owner had got jobbed a couple of times on a couple of scenarios. And so what I'm curious, Neil, is, how do you, what is your exit strategy now? How do you plan on, making good of the situation and resolve his problems, if you don't mind sharing?
Absolutely. Well, it's a wholesale. I got it at 190.
Okay.
It's worth it's worth around 500.
Wow.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah. Seriously. And I probably could have made a lot more money on this wholesale, but I don't have, the best network yet. But anyway, I still sold it for 22,000 more. So
Okay.
212. There's still a significant amount of work to be done. So the spread looks big, but I mean, the rehab job is huge.
He's going to
And
take a lot of that money.
It's
Yeah.
a big house, 4,300 square feet. And yeah, I reached out initially to realtors to see if they had buyers.
Yeah.
And just through that whole process, I came in contact with a rehabber and a few actually. And but one was more eager and wanted, he was acting quicker than the other ones, and I signed with him. So it's a double close. And I was trying to figure out
double close.
Yeah, double close.
Oh, okay. You could just do an assignment.
I could have, but one thing that had been suggested to me is that when your assignments are above 10,000, there are some buyers, especially the ones that you don't know yet, that will,
Walk at it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there is that.
So anyway, out of fear, I decided to double close, but I found a really honest transactional funder.
There you go.
And he's not charging a lot. He's a mentor himself. He has videos out there. Seems really level-headed.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, this guy's a godsend.
Yeah.
And I just got in touch with him. It's a funny thing is I left him a message. He phoned me back not even an hour later. He was getting out of the hospital. He had stitches in his back.
Oh my God.
Yeah, his wife was driving the car. We had this whole conversation. This guy is great, and I'll definitely do business with him again. Name's Dave Dinkle.
Dave did, yeah. You shared it. In fact, I pulled him up, and I actually got in contact with him as well. To look at some transactional funding. I have a couple of scenarios that it might be actually useful. Plus, I just want to start building the relationship with him.
Yeah.
So thanks for
cool.
sharing that too. Yeah, very much so. Because I was thinking on your deal, the same exact thing, but you took 22,000 to the bank. That's get out, get in, get out, get paid, right?
There you go.
Yeah, on to the next one, and keep learning the lessons, and keep raising your stature in terms of your understanding of what you're doing. You're standing amongst the players in the community, that type of thing, because it all kind of grows over time, right? You start doing deals, and then you'll be able to start moving some stuff and start making some demands.
Yeah, faster and faster. Because this one, I was like frantically working on finding a buyer. I was like, oh my God, I hope I.
Yeah. Oh my God stage. Like,
Yeah.
what have I done now? I hope I can get out of this thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, we all go through that one, boy. Like, oh my God, we got to sell this thing, and we got to sell it yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Hey, well,
a few sleepless nights where I just keep waking up.
Yeah. One of these mornings you're gonna wake up, it's gonna be 22 jizzles in your bank account.
There you go.
I'll be good. It's gonna be good. Hey, good morning, everybody. Hey, thank you guys for joining us, man. Michael Gosby, my man. Naomi, what's up? Wei Ling is here. David, I see you on the road, my man, but you still plugged in. Love it. John Alexander is a buddy of mine. He's joining us today. Raed, Ed Porter. What's going on, buddy? Hey, you guys. So, well, you guys know what we do every Wednesday, like clockwork. We do role play, and we have a role play that we do based on a particular methodology. I'll share my screen with you right now, and as you can see, that's kind of what we work from. Mastering the phone and getting property deals. The main idea that we're trying to do is move somebody from wherever they are on this scale up into the 8, 9, and 10 range, where we can actually solve their problem. And the key is, solve their problem. If you guys heard me just talking with Neil about his situation, the main reason why he ended up getting that deal is that he found a way to solve somebody's problem. Had he not been able to get into that arena with that person and create a win for them, we wouldn't be talking about him having a profit in this deal at all. So ultimately, no matter all of this stuff right here, what it leads to is let's find a problem that we can solve and then create a circumstance that we can solve it and create win for everybody involved in the transaction, especially us. As Claude always likes to say, the salesman is the most important person in the conversation. I know that if you listen to that a certain way, it sounds kind of hardcore or kind of, selfish, but the truth of the matter is that that's the business we chose, right? We chose to be in this business. And in order for us to profit from it, we have got to understand that, our job is simply to get to this the 8, 9, and 10 as quickly as we can, and if we can't, bow out gracefully and be on to the next one. And we do it through a process, where we set an agenda, we ask qualifying questions, we allow them to ask us questions, and we close and recap. So without further ado, is there anybody out there, that's a song, just so you know, who would like to do some role play? And I'll keep the share up when the role play starts. I'm gonna close it for right now, so I can see all of you guys. But then I'll open it up so that you can follow along when we do the actual role play. So anybody out there wants to get down? If you want, I'll go first. With somebody, and then unless we have two courageous souls who come out here and get it done with us.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, you guys.
How about this? I have a situation. Maybe we could use it as a role play. I don't know.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
We can or can't.
Yeah.
But I actually have to renegotiate with somebody.
Okay, good. Let's do it.
So I got a renegotiation too.
Oh, well, there you go.
Perfect. You guys want to do it together, or you want me to jump in the middle here?
We can do it together. You can jump in at some point as well.
Excuse me.
I'm ready when you are.
Disconnect. My Google speaker loves to answer all our questions when we're on the call for whatever reason. Okay.
It thinks it's smarter than us.
It does. But it always tells me I can't find an answer to your question. Well, then what good are you? So tell me a little bit about your situation. Where are we going to be going with this?
Sure. So the situation is this was supposed to be a rehab, but it turns out after a whole bunch of contractors were sent out to the property, this property isn't salvageable at all.
Okay.
So now we're left with extra costs, and one of those costs is like the demolition, and transport all that stuff out.
Yeah.
So I actually have a buyer at exactly the price I have this contract signed at, but I'd like to sneak in,
you like to sneak in your fee.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So yeah. I gotta work this out with the seller.
Okay.
Well, you want me to be the seller?
Sure. Yeah, let's try it out.
Cool.
So ring.
Good afternoon. This is Hervik.
Hey, Hervik, how you doing? This is Neil. Long time no speak.
What's up, Neil? How's it going, man?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Yeah, how have you been doing? How's your daughter?
She's good. She's good. Oh, everybody's well, man. Yeah, Thanks for asking.
Yeah, I don't know if you have a daughter for real, Hervik, but my guy does.
We'll make pretend.
Yeah, we'll make pretend.
And you did well too, because it was seamless.
Yeah. Hey, Hervik, is now a good time? Do you have a few minutes to talk?
Yeah, I'm in between some calls, but now's a better time than ever. So I'd rather
Okay.
knock it out.
I really appreciate it. Hervik,
Sure.
I've been sending a few contractors out to the property, and I have a problem. So we checked out the property, and and I sent out these guys. I knew it was in really bad shape, but so I've sent out the guys that work like on the really, really heavy duty jobs, and we're all seeing an issue with it. We don't think it's salvageable
At all?
at all. Yeah, I imagine you didn't know that.
No, I thought, I thought that it was salvageable. Obviously, I had a couple other people go by there, take a look. Although everybody was saying it was a heavy, heavy rehab, I had not heard anybody say that it was not salvageable.
Yeah. Those 10 years that you've been away, it's really degraded in condition. I know you had your neighbors taking care of it, but I mean, I don't think they've been looking at it at all.
I mean, what's more to say about that, right?
Yeah. Hervik, so I have an issue here. I have to get this place demolished. And I know you said, your well is in great shape, and it is. I really appreciate that. And also your septic system. But I have costs now that I didn't have before, and that's the whole demolition cost. I have to get it out of there.
What do you think? What's the cost of that? How much does that run you?
It's going to be $7,500.
7,500 to demo?
Yeah, that's
Gotcha.
That's what I got it as a quote.
Let me jump in here real quick.
Yeah.
Is the 7,500 the actual quote,
Or
is it closer to 5,000?
I got a whole bunch of people telling me a whole bunch of numbers, some more, some, but 7,500 was the smallest amount.
So what do you want to make on this deal?
I just want to. I have a buyer. Making 5 would be okay with me.
Oh, you'd be okay with 5?
Yeah.
Okay, then I would probably this is just me. I would probably start at 10.
Okay.
Because he's going to work you down.
Okay. Yeah.
More than likely, he's going to work you down. Yeah. See, look, Hervik, he's like, yeah, you get ready to get.
I try not to be too hard. I try not to be too tough.
Yeah, but I would probably start at a higher number just to give yourself some room and for him to think that you're, kind of taking it on the chin on it. So when he walks away, he feels a little bit better about, the situation, because he feels like, he didn't give you everything that you wanted for whatever reason. They need to feel that, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So, and that's why I ask, because if you're right at 75 and that's actually your number, you might be playing a little close.
Mm-hmm.
Look at your number, double it if you have to, and work your way back down to a number. But you need to know what number that is in your mind. Like, you need to know what you want to walk away with from here.
Right.
The cutoff number.
Yeah. There's a bottom line number that you have to know when you start this negotiation.
Okay.
All right.
Good to know.
Yeah. All right. So
this is precisely why we're doing this.
exactly. Yeah. Back to the road.
Like you said, 99% of people, they always want to come down anyway, right? That's why you always start out high.
Yeah. Exactly. That's right. Yeah.
Good to know.
You said 7,500. That's what the demo, the quote you got.
Yeah, that's what I was told. It's not a quote, like it's not a real quote, but the investors, the flippers, it's a number that was mentioned to me.
So are you telling me that we're gonna cancel this? We're not gonna move forward?
Well, I
for-
don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure if I can make this work. We agreed upon 23,000, but I'm not sure I can make that work at that price anymore because all of a
So what
sudden
would we have?
I got new costs.
Where would we have to be? Because obviously I'm out of town. My problem. We've spoken about it so many times, man. I just want to get this thing off my hands. What do we have to do?
Well, I'd love if we could renegotiate. Is that something you're open to? Because otherwise, I think I'm going to have to cancel.
I mean, I have no choice, do I? If I want to sell it, you can't.
Well, if you want to sell it to me, you can always try and sell it to somebody else.
Yeah, from across the country. So I'm realistic. I get it. Tell me where we're at. Tell me what we got to do.
Yeah.
I need to get it off. I need to get this headache off my hands. And thank you for up until this point attempting to. You tell me where you're at.
Okay. Well, how about 15.5?
I can't do 15.5. I have to split the money, with my brother. 23. You said 75. Can we be somewhere in the high teens so we could split the 7,500?
I don't know. Not sure, So if I can make it to the high teens, you'd be willing to renegotiate this? I'd send the addendum and you'd sign that today?
Let's figure out a number. And yeah, I will, man. I've been waiting to get the property off my hands. So
okay.
I was hoping that I could walk away with what we had agreed on before. Obviously, you're giving me the bad news, but if we could work on that, I'm willing to move forward. I get it that you got a demo.
Okay, really appreciate it. So what's your number?
Okay, I mean, you're the numbers man. Do you have a calculator over there? You tell me what the number is.
Well, how about 17.5? I come up to
17.5.
That's the high teens.
17.5. 17.5. Are you still covering closing costs?
Yes, I am.
And closing date remains the same?
Sure does.
I'm on board.
Great. All right, I'll send that to you right away through HelloSign. Is that something you can sign for me today?
Yeah, send the email. And the sooner the better. So
All
I
right.
don't start procrastinating.
Okay, will do. All right, Hervik. Talk to you soon.
Cool. Good stuff, Neil.
Yeah, good
I tried
stuff.
to make it easy at first, but then come back and throw a tool.
No, you were all nice with me.
exactly what they do, right? It sounds easy at first, and then all of a sudden they want to throw a wrench in there, like when they realize that, oh my God, I'm going to lose this money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would get from.
Go ahead.
From the way that Neil said it, that he said that the neighbor was supposedly helping but hadn't been helping.
Yeah.
So I could only imagine that this guy's across the country, like, still
Exactly.
dealing with this thing for years. I got a buyer. Shit, right now's the time.
Yeah.
I was filling you in as we went.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah. So that was really good, especially in terms of the fact that, you got right back into relationship and you stayed at a particular level, a particular tone that was, you didn't create angst, right? You just kind of were like mellow and you just kind of, let them know, there's some circumstances. He gave you the impression, and he probably, everybody would probably understand this, that he knew what he was holding on to. He knew that it was a mess, and he knew that it potentially, that he was really winning on the first scenario. But
Probably, right?
Yeah, right. That this could probably happen to him in terms of that there will be some stuff uncovered about this deal, only to find out that it really was unsalvageable, and now you basically got a lot.
Exactly.
You know,
It kind of that.
go ahead.
Thank you. It almost seems like you know the like, which is often the case where you're caught up in thinking, oh, what's he gonna say? He's not gonna. But no. On the other hand, I hope I played it right. But he's probably that guy across the country that's like, Jesus, I'm almost about to pay somebody to take this off my hands.
Yeah.
You're just worried about, oh, is he gonna accept a reduction? Is he gonna be upset?
I am.
Exactly. Yeah, you're dead on with that analysis too, because when we usually speak with these people, we find out that, you know, they just want to solve this problem, you know, and you are the solution, and you're the solution that's in pocket right now. If he stops with you, very unlikely he has another solution readily at hand. He doesn't know when the next solution is going to come down the pipe for him. And you are the solution right now. And you are, you know, you're a professional, you're understanding, you know what you're doing, you're already in full effect, and you're moving forward with everything. Very difficult to kind of just blow you out the box at this point.
Can I jump in? I think that he should almost, from the beginning, go into the conversation almost making it seem like he's about to cancel, because shoot, this just became a demo. I thought it was a rehab.
Yeah, I went from having a rehab to a vacant lot.
So almost coming with the intention that I'm about to give him the impression maybe you're going to cancel, and then be like, but look, maybe if we can figure this out, maybe I can still move forward.
I like it.
Maybe that'll work.
Yeah, that's strong. Yeah, absolutely. Like, you know, put the pressure on him to try to save this deal.
And shoot for maybe 15 or just chop 10 off, you know. But first lead with the, hey, I'm thinking I'm gonna have to cancel, but maybe if we could do this, then I can move forward. You know, maybe that could help out.
Philip, so, I mean, Neil, you have to call this guy back, or this is actual one of your
This
deals?
is a
right?
true one. Yeah, it's a real one.
So you have a lot of ammunition. You talk to him today.
He does.
Sure am.
Hey guys, you got a bunch of swords now that you can swing.
Yes, you slice them up now, baby.
Slice them up, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. But you know, I think Gervasio is absolutely right in terms of, and that's the same thing I said in terms of, you know, going in at a particular point and work your way down so that when it's all said and done, and the psychology behind that is that when he finishes, he needs to feel like he won. Right? He has to have that feeling like, you know, he brought you down from 20,000 to 10. He walks away feeling like he won. He feels like he got a good deal. The chance of him canceling now or backing out are significantly reduced because he's feeling like he's winning. Right? And I find that the only time that people tend to want to back out is when they start questioning whether or not they're winning. Like, I think I got a better deal. Like, you know, I should have done this, or, you know, questioning the final decision that they made and thinking that might have been a better decision available to them. At $10,000, he definitely feels like he won. Like, you know, I negotiated this dude down. I'm a player.
For sure.
And
And then this.
What we say? Gervasio?
I was gonna say, and then the seller is like, you know, again, their main objective is getting this darn headache off their hands. So they're winning in that sense.
Yeah. So, you know, if you can put him in that, you know, cuddly, warm feeling of that, you know, I'm getting my problem solved and I'm winning financially on this deal, it's locked in. Make sense?
Hey, as long as it's a win-win situation, as long as I win first.
Philip is in the house. I hear you. Philip.
I was just listening because I had the New York Giants. I was transporting them. So I was just listening.
There you go. I hear you.
New York Giants.
Yeah. The baseball Giants?
No, the football team.
I know there's no New York Giants baseball team. I was just
well, it is a baseball team. They're in California. The Giants in California.
Yeah, but okay, yeah. You get it.
I got it though.
Yeah, right on. So, all right, Herbacio, did you want to turn around and do yours and negotiate yours, or?
Cool. Well, although the conversation's already been had,
Okay,
and
all
I'm just
right.
kind of waiting for a confirmation, but yeah, for sure. So, I had a buyer come back and I had the seller. I got him at 187.
Okay.
The buyer came back at 190, and I just want to make more of a spread. So I went back to the seller and I said, hey, look, I got my lender in there. I got my contractor in there, and I'm just attempting to try to make a bigger spread. I tried to get them back down, try to get them down to 180, but they're at 183, and I got my buyer at 190. So I'm kind of just I'm gonna roll with that. You know, I'm gonna hopefully collect that check. But yeah, that's kind of the renegotiation I had to do this morning.
Oh, okay. Okay. And so you already completed the renegotiation, or?
Pretty much, it's a probate. It's the I'm talking to the husband. I actually bought another house from them a couple weeks ago.
Is he the what's his role in the probate?
His wife's father, so his father-in-law passed away, and it's 3 sisters, and it's his wife that is the petitioner.
Okay.
And so she had to, so she's the him and her are the decision makers, but she just wanted to confirm everything with the sisters at the 183.
Okay.
Because they came back and said the 183 works for them when I tried to get them down to 180.
Oh, okay. So they wouldn't do the 180?
No, they came back and said 183. And I think eventually they would have done the 180. But I bought the other property that was in the probate. I closed on that one 2 weeks ago, and it was such a good deal that I'm like, I'm just going to run with it. I can make 7 on it. I'm making more on the other one. So, you know, I'm not going to, you know what? I don't want to put my foot on their necks, so to say, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So as a package, it's a win.
For sure. And even on this one, standalone, 7 is not a bad thing. I'm just pushing paper. I'm not having to close on it myself.
Right. Yeah. 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 You're not transactional funding or anything else, right? You're just basically.
I'm hoping that my buyer's attorney, who I'll speak with, will allow me to do the double closing and me not have to get transactional funding.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well,
Yeah,
if you
so
do a
that's
double
still up in
close,
there.
if you do a double closing, transactional funding is going to be necessary, right? Unless you do an assignment, you're going to have to fund the first deal before you can close it, before you can do the second close.
So the attorney that I normally use will allow me to use my buyer's money to close up with 8.
Oh,
will
wow,
allow me
really?
Dry,
Oh, yeah.
dry double
Yeah.
close.
I need to talk to you. I need that attorney.
But because my buyer is wanting to use their attorney, I want to have that conversation with their attorney, kind of see what they say.
Yeah.
If not,
absolutely.
then I may go with just the assignment, and I might just go do it that way to keep it cleaner for me.
Yeah. Yeah. The assignment is clean.
And it's only $7,000. I hope that, you know, I'm sure they won't flip. Because you know what? I offered them the property at 209, and I let them bring me down to 190.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It sounds bad, right? That I let them, but I knew. I saw the numbers myself, and I knew it was kind of tight. So
nice.
I'd rather just make that the money now, right, than have to go look for another buyer and things like that.
Okay. All right. Well,
So when I tell them, hey, it's an assignment fee, $7,000, I hope they don't trip, because again, I did allow them to negotiate me down quite a bit.
yeah. Yeah. And it sounds like you've been real upfront, real transparent with them. You know, it sounds like you have relationship with them. They understand exactly. And they also understand that it's a win for them. They start over at this point now. Who knows what's going to happen, right? They run the risk of something happening to the property. There's a lot of downside to them not working with you.
They're back. They have a mortgage payment of $2,000 a month, and they're behind 3 payments. So,
Yeah. So, I would probably look to see if we can do an assignment. You know, but that, you know, that's up to you. If he's going to let you close with their funds, then it doesn't really matter, right? I mean,
correct.
It might cost you a couple dollars to pay the closing costs.
I would have to have the closing costs for A to B transaction.
Yeah, and then, you know, you do the title and all of that stuff.
Correct.
Yeah. All right. Well, cool. Hey, I hope you guys are picking up on some of this conversation. It's probably a little bit more advanced than some of you have had to deal with at this point. But all of this stuff is what happens whenever you start getting to the backside of these transactions. A lot of what we're talking about on these Wednesday trainings are role plays on the front end of these transactions, getting somebody on the phone, having the conversation and move them towards the 8, 9, 10 motivation level. But on the backside, there are things that you're going to have to do, and the negotiation goes on until the day they cut your check. So, these are just, I appreciate you guys for bringing these conversations to the table, because it really helps expand everybody's thinking and understanding of, the whole picture of what this game is really all about. And it can be a whole lot of fun, and it's definitely profitable. And like Neil and I were talking about, I believe we're coming into like Wonderland over the next 6 months or so, as this market starts to shift. Me personally, I believe that lease option investing is going to be just the most amazing. And I know that these guys were talking about, wholesale deals. But for me, lease option financing, lease option investing is going to be the strongest area that we can possibly be involved in. So if you guys understand that game, you will know there will be a whole lot of people with little to no equity, or with rapidly declining equity as the market starts to shift, that will allow you to go in there, save their situation, put money in your pocket, and create win-win-wins for everybody. You can start putting people back in homes. People that own create better communities. Ownership creates good communities, and we are actually in a position as investors to create that for the people around us. So understand this, it's a bigger game that we're playing than just collecting some checks, right? We have an opportunity to really make a difference, and there's some people out there that want to poo-poo investors and nonsense like that. But understand, this is an opportunity for you to really, really make a difference. And the better you are on the phones in terms of painting that picture for people, I think the more deals you're going to be able to close. So anyway, I'm off my soapbox.
Yeah, those would be some good role plays, some lease option role plays, because I've taken the course with Joe McCall,
Yeah.
and I'm familiar with how to write up the offer and what it entails.
Yeah.
But it's just that conversation and getting the seller to have some confidence in what I'm saying, or even just to steer them away from thinking that I'm a hoax, or like that I'm a scammer or something.
I
Okay.
agree.
Okay.
So how was that training with Joe McCall?
It's good. It's good. I sort of had an idea of lease options, but the details and the contracts and the language that I should use was kind of what I was looking for to pick up on, so I could be more, feel more confident in speaking and presenting the offers. And it's helped me with that. It definitely has.
Yeah. He has a really inexpensive course. I think he calls the Z Code. That I think it's like less than $100 or whatever, and it's really good in terms of moving you in the direction of understanding what this whole lease option game is about. And he's been doing it. He started doing it before the crash and did it all the way through the 2008 crash. And once I listened to some of the stuff that he was talking about, I really understood the value of what he was providing. Not just that we can make money, but like I was saying before, there's value in being able to save some people, put them in situations, have everybody win out of it. And there's a saying that says doing well while doing good.
Doing well while
That's
doing
how I
good.
see lease options. Doing well while doing good, right? So anybody want to role play? Let's do this. Come on now, don't be scared.
Can I do this, because I kind of gave you guys the backdrop on what happened? Can I have that conversation again to try to see if maybe, I don't know, I could try to still keep it at, and I knowing that I had the buyer at 190, I shot for the 180, but maybe I should have shot for 175.
Okay. You want me to do it with you?
That'd be cool.
Okay, let's do it. Okay, so
His name is
Okay, so let me repaint the picture. So you're calling me to renegotiate an already negotiated scenario?
Correct. Yes, sir.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Hey, hello, Mark.
Hello.
Hey, Mark, it's Hervik. How's it going?
Hey, Herbert, what's going on, man? How's everything?
All is well. I told you I'd get back to you after speaking again once more with my lender and speaking with my contractor and getting these final numbers. I wanted to just have again this conversation with you and give you my final decision.
Okay.
Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. And so I know we were at 187. After getting these numbers, I'm gonna have to request a little bit of reduction in price in order for me to be able to move forward and fulfill my closing date at the end of the month. And we said that we were going to be able to close on the 28th. You were on board with that, right?
Okay. Okay. So now you want to change everything? I mean, what are we talking about here?
Yeah. I got my numbers back from my contractor on that roof. Those shingles are going to have to be changed, and this is a 2,400 square foot roof or house. So
I mean, you didn't know that. You didn't know that before?
I did. I just was hoping that I didn't have to change the shingles. And that's kind of the 15 grand is what's throwing everything off. I spoke with my lender. I can close on the 28th. We're going to avoid that 2,000 payment that you have coming up. And so I'm just hoping that maybe we could wrap this up, Mark.
Man, you put me in a situation right now. I mean, we already had come to terms on this deal, man. I mean, to change everything up now, I mean, I don't understand why I should have to, I don't understand why I should have to pay for this.
I understand, Mark, and I hate to do it to you. I truly do, but I did mention that I was going to have to get these final numbers down, and I'd get back with you to confirm if that. Because originally when we started, I was a bit lower. Remember, you asked me if I can do 187, and in good faith, I've attempted to. Okay. But I want to be sincere with you, and in an effort, and I hope that you could understand that you have, someone that's already closed on the previous property you sold me, so I'm going to close on it, and I'm telling you, I'll close by the 28th to avoid that payment that you have to make. It's just that I have to reduce the price in order for me to be able to move forward. Is that too much to ask?
Well, I mean, didn't we just reduce the price a minute ago? Like, I mean, you're asking me to reduce the price again?
Yes and no, Mark. Again, I actually came up. Remember? I'm sorry.
What do you mean no?
Originally, I had came in a bit lower, remember? And you asked me if I can come up to 187, to which I, again, in good faith, I said, yes, I would.
Okay, so, why you just can't honor that?
It won't make sense for me. I'm not going to be living in the house, Mark. I'm going to be getting into it as an investment. And with the margin being so tight, I'm afraid that I may have to cancel if I can't get the price lowered a little bit, Mark, to be 100% honest with you. And that's where I am right now.
Man, we went
from
a
deal
this? To cancel. I mean, man.
I don't want to cancel, Mark. I still want to move forward, and I will. I closed that other one out for you. I want to give you my number. I want to give you my number, and I want to see, obviously, if we can get Linda on the phone with, or if you could just relay the information to Linda and see if we can make this happen. Would that be fair?
All right, man. What's the number?
I'm at 187. 187. I can still honor.
Man. Okay, so
I'm sorry.
Okay, so
off role playing back.
187, right?
Right. Yeah.
Off role playing, back on role play.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Mark. I'm at 175. 175 is my number right now. That's where I'm coming back at.
175?
Yes, sir.
Man, I mean, that's a huge change, man. Okay, off the road.
It's a huge roof.
Where you just say that's a huge roof? Good one. Okay, so we're going to 175 from 187, or from
correct.
From 187 to 175.
Yes,
Ooh, damn. Okay.
It's a
you got your work cut
15,000.
out for you. Wow, man. That's wow. So you talking about 12,000 reduction right now?
12,000. I'm having the roof alone is going to cost me 15,000. I also have to bring a couple of dumpsters in, which is a grand there, and I have to haul that stuff away and pay for it. So I'm actually I'm thinking I could make it work at 175. Although I'm still even at 175, I'm still spending more than I'm saving. But because I want to, in hopes that we can make this deal work, Mark, that's why I am willing to do it at 175. And I'd like to know if you can meet me there.
Man. You know, Mark, let me talk to my sister, man. And okay, so and you have some way of showing me that roof is going to cost you, you know, that much. I mean, you know, because it sounds like a lot.
It is a lot. It is a lot. Again, it's a big roof. I had the conversation with my contractor.
Okay.
Well, I think I can probably, if you need some type of documentation to prove that, you know, what the costs are going to be, that shouldn't be a problem. Do you think that you could have that conversation with Linda and her sisters? And in the meantime, I can get you that if you need that. Do you need that?
I mean, it would help, you know. I mean, you know, it's you know, to go to them right now and say I got a, you know, $12,000 discount to the deal that they thought, you know how it is, man. You know, they're women. They already went shopping with that money.
Maybe he can have you carry some paper or something instead of trying to get a reduction.
Mark, do you think Mark, do you think if it was up to you, imagine that the decision was up to you.
Okay.
You have that, you know, and obviously, right, it's been coming out of your pocket, the expenses ever since the passing away of your father-in-law. You've been having to pay this mortgage, $2,000 a month. It's all money out of your pocket, right? Obviously you're trying to sell this property. You're going to be getting your money back in your pocket, all the money you've spent these last 6 months. I could avoid you from making that next $2,000 payment. And who knows, if I walk, I don't want to walk, but if I walk, who knows when you're going to get another buyer.
Oh man.
Is that going to
put that pressure on me, man.
I'm throwing it out there. Man. Who knows if you're stuck having to make 3 more payments on this house. You get me? So I want to ask you, do you think if the decision was up to you, would you take my offer today? You know,
okay,
again,
so let me put it like this, right? 3 more payments. My payments are $2,000 a month, right? Even 3 more payments is only $6,000, and I think I could probably find somebody by then.
Hopefully your realtor does, but remember you have to pay some commissions on this too. And nowadays sellers are asking for some seller contribution. Buyers are asking for some seller contribution. Those are all numbers you have to, you have to do on your end. There's numbers you have to do on your end. I'm having, I'm wanting to provide this solution for you here now and today, Mark, and avoid from you having to deal with other buyers. You're 3 months behind, 3 more months behind. I'm not wishing this on you, obviously. I'm here to help you. That's why I'm taking the properties off your hand. However, 3 more months down the line, are you still going to have this property? Is it going to get foreclosed on and you're going to lose out on all that money that you've spent these last 6 months keeping this property afloat?
And you're killing me right now, man. I mean, yeah, you're right, but man, oh my God, man, this is but you know what, you're right. You're right. Yeah, because I it took me that long to find you. I don't really know if I'm going to be able to, and honestly, off role play, I may not be saying this out loud, but I'm definitely going to be thinking this, so anyway, back on role play. Man. All right, man. Let me look, is that the absolute best you can do, man? We can't because you're talking 12,000. Can we maybe do 9,000 on a correction? Can we do something like that?
I'll tell you what, Mark. if I was to do that, I have to have right. Time is ticking, right? It's the 12th. The closing, we're potentially closing on the 28th. If we were to agree on those terms today, while I rewrite this contract, can you go have the conversation with Linda? And that way, by the time you get back to me, I'll have the contract ready to go. Do you think that you could sell her on this number? So now that you sold me on the number, Mark, can you sell her while I write up the contract?
Yeah, man, that's probably a little easier for us to stomach, man. And that'll kind of, that brings me closer to, the 3 payments. And, I could make that argument with her. And, we definitely trying to get out of this deal, but I can probably do that a lot easier than I can 12.
If you need the quote for the roofer, just shoot me a text and I'll get that as well while I'm writing up the contract. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds perfect. I appreciate that. In case she decides that she, needs to have some evidence, you know how she is. We've already dealt with her.
Gotcha. If you guys need to get me on the phone, feel free. And then I just want to ask, I guess, in how long should I expect to hear back from you, just so I could get this contract ready on time?
I'll give her a call as soon as we get off. She's at home, so we can have this conversation and stuff. I'll probably give you a call back in the next couple of hours or so.
Okay, I could get this ready and I could get the e-sign over to you in less than 60 minutes. Do you think we could circle back around in about an hour?
Go ahead and write it up, man. And, at least I'll have it in my hand when as we have the conversation or whatever. And, we'll just sign on it and get it done, man. Cause I don't want to think about it no more at this point.
Gotcha. And I'll just ask you again, do you think that we can get this all resolved in about an hour or so? I'm getting ready to head out and I want to maybe send this over to my lender and to the attorney just to get the ball rolling. You think we can get it all jotted down in about an hour or so?
An hour's kind of tight, man. Can you give me 2 hours on this? Because an hour's kind of tight. I think I could get it done, but I don't want to hold her to the fire.
I'll get to work on the e-sign. And if you can get on the phone with your wife, Mark, since it's e-sign, I'll get the notice while I'm on the road and I'll just go ahead and forward it off my phone. So yeah, 2 hours would be great.
Okay, yeah, let's do it in 2 hours, man. We'll talk then. I'll get her on the line right now. If anything happens any sooner, I'll give you a call back.
2 hours it is. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate it.
All right, buddy. All right.
That was awesome, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Victor, that was you weren't letting up. That was good.
No. I mean, we're all of a sudden we're at the finish line, and he wants to change course. So and everybody's going to be reluctant, and nobody's going to roll over on giving up that kind of money like that. But you make some absolutely great points. The only thing I would have maybe done a little bit different, but this is just a matter of style. Is you kind of went hard in terms of, this is it kind of scenario. And I didn't get that you really touched on, where I was at emotionally, or that I was, in a situation. So I would have probably, kind of, rub some salve on the pain a little bit more in terms of that. That's probably all I would have done a little bit different. Like, just let them know, look, I get it. And I know that this is a hard conversation. Believe me, I struggled with even making this phone call back to you because I know this situation. I'm not trying to, get over on you, and I'm not trying to, create a situation where, you're losing and I'm winning. We've done business before, that's not my makeup. But when I looked at the numbers and I'm looking at this and, I come back with these estimates of this roof and stuff, and I don't want to leave you hanging. I don't want you out there, looking for it. So, just kind of while you're building the pain and bringing the realization, just bringing some heart to it, letting him know that it's not just a business transaction, that you're really in there with them. Because for a while, it just became a business transaction, right? But obviously you're dealing with somebody who is emotional. He just lost a loved one. He's got some things on his mind or whatever. So, I would have probably just kind of soothed it. Or that's just me. I don't know if that's right or wrong. I'm just kind of throwing it out there to move away a little bit from the hardcore, this is business type scenario, and just plug in with them, and it'll probably help him to sell it. because you're setting him up to sell it, right? If he sells it
Yeah.
like a business proposition, the sister may not be down.
Because there's no emotion involved.
There's no emotion
I
involved.
need to use him. I need to use him to continue the emotion of it.
The emotion, yeah. Sell him on the emotion so he can sell her on the emotion.
On the emotion, yeah. And I'm with you 100% because today while we had the conversation, I kind of for a second I kind of thought that I kind of felt like, man, am I not? Is he thinking that I'm just kind of in this to make money?
Yeah.
For a slight second, I felt like that.
Yeah.
And actually, it's been more than 6 months. He brought it up himself. He said it's been 9 years since the
Wow.
passing, and that he's had this responsibility with this $2,000 mortgage.
Yeah.
So because of that, I did attempt to kind of make it a little more emotional when I was on the phone with him. But you're right. I do need to keep that in mind.
Yeah, yeah, just kind of, just kind of keep him in there and cuddle him a little bit, you know what I mean? Because he's vulnerable. He's been dealing with this forever. When we're in these kind of situations, I think for the most part, we just want somebody to give a damn about us, right? Somebody to kind of get us and understand where we are and how we feel emotionally about this kind of stuff. And the more you can plug into that, the more of an ally you have, especially since you're fighting a battle with someone else who you have not had a chance to influence, right?
Oh, yeah, because it's the wife.
Yeah, so you literally have to
Yeah.
use his emotion to influence her because she's not direct party to this conversation. So
Which
that's
I should have.
Go ahead.
Oh, I guess for anybody else that's listening, right, that this may help. I think that maybe from earlier in the negotiations, I should have already been on the phone with the wife. I just created a good rapport with him, so I figured, I'm just gonna run with that. But I know that maybe because she is part of the decision making, and even at the end, even more in power making the decision, I probably should have had conversations with her already.
That is a good point. That is a great point. And for everybody who's listening, if in fact there is another party in the decision-making process, it is always a good idea to try to get that party on the line. You're not always going to be able to, because sometimes they're sheltered. I'm doing a deal right now, and we haven't spoken to the husband at all, partially because I think he's deployed and there's only email access to him. Probably should have already spoken to the husband at some point, but she seems to have so much control over the scenario, and he's given her the complete autonomy to do what there is to do. But the truth of the matter is that you're right. If there's somebody else involved, we should probably do our best to try to create a relationship with them at some point so that they know who we are and where we're coming from. Right? And now everything is not hitting them, because it's so easy to kind of, put somebody behind a curtain, and then you can treat them any way you want to, and they can become whoever you imagine them to be, different than when you actually have a relationship with them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. Hey, man, that's strong stuff, man. You guys are bringing it. You guys are bringing the noise today, man.
Question, right?
Yeah, go ahead, Philip.
Could he try to do a subject 2 on that deal?
The deal is done.
Huh?
The deal is done. He just wants to renegotiate. It's not really a subject 2 scenario. It's a probate type deal. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the deal is done. He's just negotiating a different cut because of some new findings in the situation.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So he's just trying to role play how to have that conversation effectively.
Victor, I just wanted to just piggyback off of what the first role play, which was hella good. Thank you, Neil and Hervik for the other one, hella fire. I just wanted to say, so it was, I think, about 12, and then you were so tough on him. You made him get down to 9. And I just wanted to ask Hervik if he had factored that in, like how you talked about with Neil, like go a little higher so that you got that room to go ahead and, give a little bit when they push back.
So Hervik, did you hear a question?
Kind of is. I was having a little bit of trouble here on my end with my phone.
Okay, so what she's asking is, because I negotiated you down from the 12 to the 9, had you built that into your scenario when you introduced the 12?
Yeah. In real life, what happened this morning was, so my realtor that I've used, she brought me the buyer for this house. And again, they came in at 190. And so I was at 187. And I had, so I already knew I got $3,000 in the deal. I was really trying to make 5. So I guess I accomplished that because they came back at 183. But I think that maybe I could have even gotten more. So if I would have started maybe at 175, I would have maybe ended up at 180. And again, I got the buyer at 190. So, so that was just I guess a case of me wondering, hey, maybe I could have pushed for a higher assignment fee. But I did already have, and I already considered the fact that I got the buyer at 190 and the seller's at 187. I could already make 3 here. Anything more than that was just more than that.
Okay, yeah. So given the role play scenario we completed, what would have been your take?
I got the buyer at 190 and you and I agreed to it was -9, right, off of 187.
Yeah.
So we would have been at 179.
Yeah.
We would have been at 178. It would have been 12 instead of 7.
Yeah. So that'd been another $5,000 in your pocket.
Something like that. Yeah, like an extra.
Yeah.
So if I would have if we would have done this role play yesterday, or if I would have been talking to the seller after this role play, it probably would have equaled an extra 5 in my pocket.
Yeah.
So
Who knows,
always so high, right?
I wasn't thinking
That's all right.
like that. I was thinking.
Yeah, you got a lot more deals ahead of you that is going to bring value for you. I'm sorry, Naomi, you were going to say something?
Oh no, I was just agreeing that it's plenty more to come. It's all learning and journey, and taking those lessons and applying them on the next go. I think this was awesome. I always get so much out of hearing and being here with you guys.
Oh yeah, we appreciate you. We really appreciate having you here. You always make a great contributions and always have great feedback. So you are definitely appreciated. Okay, you guys, let's role play another one. You guys want to do let's do a lease option. Let's do a lease option role play, and see what we can create here.
Let's do a similar scenario without let Horatio here, lease option one we did. Want to try that?
You want to role play with
Similar
Herbert, or does it matter who do you role play with? I'm not understanding what you're.
Let's get Horatio a lease option similar to our situation. The one we did.
Being me and you?
Yes.
Okay.
Like the Albany scenario.
Okay, got it. Okay.
So
you want to role play with Herbert?
Now deal with you, but we're gonna let
it.
Horatio here a lease option deal.
Okay. All right. Cool.
So I'll be the young lady. the homeowner, and you'll be the buyer.
I don't know if you guys can hear.
Okay. If we can hear is that you, Herbert?
Oh, I thought maybe you wanted to role play with me, but I'm kind of having a connection issue on my end.
Okay. No, I think he wants you to hear what a lease option conversation might sound like. Because you were talking about, moving to some lease options and having worked with or looked at Joe McCall's materials. So we have a lease option situation right now that Michael and I are doing right now. And so we're going to kind of role play because we have a similar situation in as much. And I'm guessing, Michael, you're talking about having the husband not being present and that kind of thing. Okay.
Right.
Okay. All right. So he and I are going to do a role play, and my job is to try to see if I can get the husband involved and seeing what we're doing.
Nice. Okay.
Is that where we're going, Mike?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll just pretend, because it's going to be weird for me to call you, the young lady's name. So we'll just pretend that the young lady is the one that's missing. Okay.
Right.
All right. Okay. So ring ring.
Yes, hello.
Hey, Michael, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How you doing today?
I'm good, man. This is Victor. Wait a minute. Hold on one second. Give me 1 second. Cops lock is on.
Oops.
I need to change my name, right? My name is not Justin.
Right.
I didn't even realize it was like that the whole time. Okay, cool. All right, so hey, look, I was giving you a call back. You know, we have come to some sort of terms on this scenario. Really excited to be working with you and everything, and I believe we can get this done pretty quick and get you where you want to be. But I did notice that on the title that I pulled up, that it was only your wife who is the title holder. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. But are you able to make the decisions on this? Like if you and I come to terms on this, and can I consider your decisions as final, or how are we going to work this?
Yes, like I got a little niche scenario here. So like I just got the military
Okay.
and my house is in Albany and I'm in Iowa now. I took a job in Iowa. My husband's still in the military, but he's
got
giving
it.
me all, full reign to, just get the house taken care of. So,
Okay.
we
Okay,
can
so
talk,
he's
but
giving-
then I'll
he's
just
giving you
relate
authority?
what we talked about back to him.
Okay. Let me ask you, is there any way possible, Michael, that I can, or that I can, speak with your husband directly, or speak with her directly?
No, like I said, he's still in the
You got
military.
me.
No,
Good.
like I said, he's in the military and he be giving me full reins. Like I say, when we discuss, I'll discuss with him. Like I say, we can go from there because like I'm here, he's deployed right now.
Okay, and so there's no chance whatsoever. Yeah, he's deployed, so we're not going to be able to talk to him. But am I to hear that you have absolute authority to make this decision, or what are we saying?
Yeah, I have full authority to make the decisions. Like
Okay,
I said.
got it. Now, the one thing we are going to have to do though is all the documents and everything is going to have to be signed by your husband. Do we have a way to reach him?
Yes, I get the paper. I can get the paperwork over to my husband. It's no problem.
Okay, great. So let me ask you, do you have an email that I can use to get everything over to him? Because I'm going to need to, I'd like to be able to, speak directly with him or get documents in there, because if there's some speed or anything required at the closing, I'd like to be able to go directly to the source. Would that be okay with you, or am I stepping on your toes right now?
No, that's fine. I can give you his email address. No problem.
Okay, good. All right. What's that email address?
1-800-BIG-CHEESE.com.
Got it. I like that email. I like that. Okay, perfect. So, just so you know, I'll copy you on everything as well. So, I won't be operating around you or going behind your back or anything. But if we need something quickly signed, when we move to an escrow scenario in this, and, we need to have him sign off, he's really the only one that has the authority.
Right.
Okay, so, but I'll make sure that you get copied on everything. I promise you I won't be going around your back. So, based on everything that we said though, so we're good. We have a price of $195. We have $1,350 a month, which will allow you to have a little bit of cash flow on top of everything. And we're looking at a 36-month term. Everything good with that?
Yes, that's fine. Sounds good.
Okay, perfect. I'll get the documentation over to you and just have him sign. It's going to be a DocuSign document. Just have him sign it, and we'll go to work on it right away. I expect that we'll be able to do this one pretty quick. I definitely am excited about working with you.
I am also. Thank you.
All right, great. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. You have a great rest of the day.
You too.
All right. So basically that was just a simple conversation to try to move towards getting some kind of communication and understanding exactly what the communication flow is going to be between you and the title holder. Because when you get into a situation and you're dealing with a third party, be a wife or husband or whatever in a scenario, you've got to try to create a mainline conversation with whoever the final decision maker, or especially the person who's on title. Because when you get this to escrow, that person is going to be the one who's going to have to sign on everything. And if you don't have access, or if access is going to be a handoff from one person to another, you lost control of this situation. Sometimes you can't help it. You know, sometimes that's just the way it works out, but you want to do everything on the front end to try to eliminate all the obstacles that you can in terms of doing this deal. So, you know, real simple, real, you know, to the point, you know, can I get to your husband? You know, where's he at? How can we get to him? Am I going to have to go through you? Are you the final decision maker? If I get everything and you agree on it, how long is it going to take for you to communicate with him and get back to me on the situation? Do I have your permission to talk to them directly? That way you're not, excuse me, that way you're not stepping on anybody's toes. So just create.
And nowadays with the Zoom and all the different forms of communication, you could narrow down, you know, the excuses or kind of get down to it, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. You can remove the obstacles.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, you can remove the obstacles and get directly to it, because, you know, it sounds trite, you know, like, you know, extra steps, but I guarantee you, if you don't handle this on the front end, it could really come back to bite you on the back end. When you don't know the process, you haven't established a protocol for communication, and now all of a sudden you're in escrow and stuff needs to be signed, documents need to be created or whatever, and now you haven't established a communication channel that is direct and concise and can get your stuff done and get this deal closed for you. Because every day that it's not closed is another opportunity for something to fall in the way and create another question, another concern, another anxiety that now you have to deal with. So we just want to try to eliminate as much of that on the front end as we possibly can. All right. Good. Thank you, Mike. Anybody else? Anybody have a scenario that they're facing that they kind of want to talk through, or maybe somebody wants to go from, you know, the beginning? You got a lead, you're calling somebody, you're getting them on the phone, and you want to talk, you know, convince them that you're the person for them to deal with. Don't be shy.
I'll do it.
There's Mag. I knew Mag was coming. He's a player. He's like,
I'll do it.
He's a player. Hey, John, what's going on, buddy? I can't hear you. You're muted.
Is that better? Can you hear me?
That's better. That's
Okay.
better. Yeah. So you trying to role play?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Mag, I guess we'll have Mag and John do the role play. You guys can, let's see. You guys need to set a scenario. John, what role were you looking to play?
You know, it's my first time.
Yeah. So you want to be the seller?
Yeah.
You can be the homeowner in this role play, and then Mag is going to be the investor in this role play. How's that, you guys?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
So, hello.
Hey.
Hey, is this John?
Yeah, this is he.
Hey, man, how you doing? I saw your property on Zillow. Is it still for sale?
Absolutely.
Awesome. You know, I just wanted to get some information about the property, you know, and ask you a few questions, and you can ask me a few questions, you know, and then if you don't think it's a good fit, you can just say no otherwise. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Awesome. So let me ask you, how long you live there?
I actually currently don't live at the property.
Oh, you don't? Oh,
No.
interesting. So, why are you looking to sell?
Well, you know, my wife and I are getting a divorce. This was property.
Time out off the role play a little bit. Okay, so Mag, if I was to go back to you, he just gave you the, you know, something to jump on. It's vacant. Okay. Play the vacant.
Gotcha.
Right? Like, how long has it been vacant? You know, what kind of stress is that causing on you? You know, is it, do you have a payment coming up? So, you know, you can immediately start digging into the gem that he just laid in your hand.
Okay.
Right.
Gotcha.
Instead of shifting directions and going, you know, someplace else. He just gave you something that you can actually start to build on and
All right.
get to the other parts of the conversation. That makes sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. So,
Okay.
all right. So, so the house is vacant right now, right?
Yes, it is. No,
So how,
it's not vacant. There's a renter, but
Okay,
you
we don't want
know,
to change. We don't want to change the scenario. We already just went with vacant, so
okay, yeah,
let's just
the
stay
house.
with vacant. Yeah, let's just stay with
Okay,
vacant.
yeah, the house is vacant. There's nobody living there.
interesting. How long has it been vacant for?
The last 4 months.
Oh, 4 months. Wow. That's that's a little bit stressful, isn't it? You have
Yeah,
wow, I can understand. So, you have any payments coming up or?
yeah, every month. Yeah, we've been making the payment. The renter dashed out. They, trashed the house, and some things have come up to where I can't put all the money back in to get it to where it needs to be.
You can put understand. Well, I'm a real estate investor, and
See, again, stay on track with where he's taking you. Okay, so he just told you that he can't put the money in to correct all of these things.
yeah.
Build. Okay, so right now it doesn't sound like you're listening. It sounds like you're kind of on a mission to, just go through your process, right? So he
Right.
just told you that there's a whole bunch of stuff that now has to be fixed. Expand on that conversation, right? He already took you there. So let him tell you all of the bad stuff and feel the pain of all this shit that he has to fix now. He just told you that somebody went in there, they did, yeah, exactly. Philip is on there saying, ask about the damage on the house. That's exactly where I'm going, because if in fact there's damage to the house, that's your end. He just gave you a big old,
Yeah.
come get it.
Right.
So I guess what are the repairs look like, and what's the damage of the house?
Oh man, where do I start? There's some plumbing issues. There's some holes in the wall.
Okay.
Definitely needs new carpeting.
Okay.
And I think that's pretty much it, other than, and some landscaping. Some landscaping definitely needs to be done.
Well, all right. So if I would have drive it up to your house with a bag of cash, and what would it look like to fix this house? How much?
Well, I had a guy come in, had several quotes. The lowest one I got was 15,000.
Okay.
To get everything up to par. And man, I just don't have the money right now.
Right.
I really don't. And trying to make the mortgage payment as well.
Okay. And you said you are behind 4 months, right, on the mortgage payment? Is that correct?
I'm actually current on the mortgage.
Okay.
I've just, it's been vacant for 4 months.
Oh, it's been vacant for 4 months. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, understand. Great. So
You said great.
I said I know that's not great. So let me ask you what that punching in the numbers, are you looking to sell a cash offer, or what are you looking to do with this property?
Ideally, I mean, at this point, we're just done. We want to, try to get it off our hands as much as possible. We're making this mortgage. I can't see in the, right now or in the near future to where we can be able to, pay for all the fixtures that need to be done and to keep making the mortgage payment. And then we got to go find a renter as well to rent the home.
How much are you asking?
Right now we want, 280.
280. Okay. And if you don't mind me asking, how did you arrive at this number?
Well, I know there's houses in the area that go for a little bit more. There's also there's houses in the area that go for a little bit more, and then we also wanted, we figured we can at least get 280 for it, because our property is probably not up to the value of some of the other homes. So, we're selling it for a little bit less. I think the property down the street, couple doors down, just sold for 320.
Interesting. Okay. Okay. If 320. That's after repair value. So all right. Obviously, the comps they look good. They look about 320. So what's the lowest that you'll be able to do in this house, for a cash offer? And what would you commit to?
280.
280, that's the lowest. Okay. All right. That's a little tight for me. I'll tell you what. I don't. I don't want to offend you with the cash offer because I know there's a 15,000 on repairs and whatnot. If I would be able to make something creative for you, so you can sell this house in 2 years, how valuable would that be to you?
Now, what was that one more time?
If I would be able to get something creative for you on this deal and get you a tenant buyer to buy your house after 2 years, would that be a value to you?
Yeah, as long as I don't have to come out any more money. And then,
Okay, so time out on the role play right now. I don't know if you have a situation, because there's a lot of repairs to be done to this house. But what are you thinking in terms of where you're going to take this? And I just want to get a sense of where you are right now. And the main reason is because I want you to start really working from your end game backwards. Because right now it kind of feels like you're kind of creating on a role play, like as you go.
Yeah.
And you really want to come from, you've already have established sort of a framework. He's already sort of established it for you. You've agreed that you have a price around 320, right? The 280, if you look at the 320 and you do your 65%, which is the number that I'm using, with COVID. So if you're looking at the 320,000 and
times
70%, so your number is 224 or less, right?
Yeah. Right.
Okay. So you can either try to sell him that number, at 224, but I think you're not going to be able to sell it now because you haven't really plugged into anything with him emotionally.
Okay, got it.
Like you haven't really connected with him on an emotional level. This whole conversation has kind of just been about numbers and about what you're trying to, and you going through this process, right? And that's why I keep bringing you back to listen to what he's saying and plug into his pain points. Like he's told you he's giving you so much stuff right now that you have an opportunity to build relationship with this guy and become his answer.
Okay.
But you can't do it if you're just focusing on his numbers. Like right now, you're just strictly on numbers, right?
Okay.
And you haven't, you haven't created, I get exactly where you're at. I just did a deal. I have a friend who did a deal. I have a family member who was in the same situation. So you haven't at this point built any commonality. You're just going through the numbers. Here's the risk that you run with that is that he now has no emotional connection to you. The next guy who calls, if I called him right after you, your deal is over. Because I'm gonna become his friend. You see what I'm saying? and
Yeah.
you're going to just be some guy with numbers.
Okay.
And people, do business with people they, like and trust, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So you have got to, move towards listening to him a little bit more, plugging into his needs, wants, desires, and, creating a relationship where, you're making a friend. I don't get that you have any issues making friends, Mag. Like, you seem like that guy. Like, you could probably make friends in any place you go, right?
Right.
Like that's your personality, right?
Yeah.
So you lose that a little bit when you start doing your negotiations. You start to move towards, this whole, sort of by the numbers sort of paint, right?
Mm-hmm.
Go back to who you are.
Okay.
Go back to who you are. You are, a friend maker.
Okay.
So make friends, connect with this guy. Let this guy know that, you're the answer. And I know that a lot of times, we want to get off in 3 minutes and we want to know where you already know this guy got some issues going on. He's giving you a plate full of problems that he's dealing with.
Yeah.
Make friends with him, solve his problems, close this deal.
Okay.
Right. Don't worry. And, look at that. I put it up on the screen for you to look and see where you are. Right. But this guy is already at a 7 when he got on the phone.
Hmm.
He already had 7, motivation amount of problems when he got on the phone, and he's giving you some good stuff. John, it's a trip, man. You've never done this before, but you are doing fantastic. You're putting some really good stuff in there, and you obviously, kind of get what we're doing here. So, good stuff. And, he's giving you some stuff that you can use, that you can just, you can get this guy to a 10 right now. If you listen more and plug into, exactly what he's saying. Does that make sense, Mag?
No, makes sense.
And absolutely, bro. You're a friend maker. Make
Thank
friends.
You. All right.
Yeah, make friends. All right. Back on the role play.
All right. So where were we? All right. So it looks like what was the number that we talked about? So you asked about 280, right? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And if I work I work being creative here. And I know you have a lot of I know how fast are you looking to sell this property? Just so I can get a gauge.
I mean, there is some equity in the property. My family used to live in it, so we've had it, for several years. I'm just going by basically what I see in the area, and right now I ran into some personal issues, and I can't pull the money out to fix it, and also I can't front the money to fix it. So I guess you could say I'm pretty motivated, but you have to make it make sense.
I understand where you're coming from. I've actually have a few friends, partners that they have properties that they can tap into their equity right now, because of the whole situation. But if I would be able to help you with this property, and help you get out of this property as soon as you can, and be able to fix the property for you, get those $15,000 and fix the property, and give you a cash offer for the property now. Um, how motivated are you for to make a deal today?
I mean, I guess it would have to be depending on what the price point is. I have to talk to my wife and see what she says as well. And then if it made sense for both of us, and the numbers added up, and yeah.
Okay, awesome. Are you so I heard about the wife. So you're not the only decision maker, right, on this whole situation?
No, I mean, anything, that happens, we definitely run it by each other. Yeah, we
Okay.
like I said, this is like our first property we bought years ago. You know, we raised our kids there. We ended up, you know, it was a blessing. We able to get another property, and you know, we've been renting it out, but it's just been such a hassle.
No, yeah, I understand. And you gotta actually go by the wife, happy wife, happy life. That's what they say. So you gotta get
Right.
her approval for things. So,
Um,
um,
um, real quick, this is an opportunity for you to find out if she's actually on title.
okay,
Yeah, you want to find out who's
Yeah.
on the title now, because you're gonna, if you take this to the end, they're gonna have to sign. So is she just a decision maker or is she a title holder?
okay.
So
So,
you just simple,
ju-
simple, is she on title with you on the house?
yeah. So is she so the wife is she on title with you on the house, or is just you?
Actually, it's her on title.
It's her on title.
Yeah, I just handle all the business. My wife works a lot, so you know, this has kind of been my this is kind of how we do things. But yeah, she's on title. I work a lot, so you know, I take all the calls and make sure I'll talk to anybody in regards to the house or any of our investments or business that we do.
All right, good. So why don't we set up a time for our three to have a call together? What time would be good for her to set up a call tomorrow or tonight?
I would just have to, she's at work right now. I work from home, so I can text her and call her, and maybe this evening, if not sometime tomorrow. Maybe we can either if she.
Okay, that's good. Would you say, like um 7 p.m. tonight would be a good time for us to set up a three-way call?
Like I said, I would have to talk to her first.
Mm-hmm.
Get in touch with her. If you want to do like a follow up with me, or a text, however, I could text you and let you know here within the next couple of hours.
Okay.
But she works in the hospital, so
Mm-hmm.
she's not available to be by her phone, especially with this whole coronavirus, like
Okay.
normal. So yeah, I can talk to her here in the next couple of hours, and then from there we can be able to schedule something.
Okay. So let's do this. Can you text me back in like 3 hours? This way I'm be able to clear my schedule tonight, and then we can make something happen. Okay.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Awesome.
Is this the
So
number is this the number I text or I call, the number you're calling me from, or?
yeah, 555-5555. Exactly. Yep.
Got it. And what were you thinking? Like, what were you thinking of being able to do with the home? Do you have any ideas, like any scenarios, or maybe something I can tell her? What were you thinking?
Yes, definitely. So with the numbers, would be more as of a cash offer, that I have here on table. Um, I would be able to give you for the house price of about 210 cash, and you don't have to pay any closing costs or anything like that. And I
Okay.
would be able,
Let me jump in here. And I'm only doing that because you said the 210. So Philip ran some numbers and he put them in the chat. So thanks a lot, Philip. Philip is really involved in this conversation. At 320, and right now with coronavirus discount, and that's why I call it, because people are looking for a better deal on the property because of the volatility of the market. There's a potential that we could go down quite a bit. So wholesalers are looking at 65%, right? So they're paying 65%. So that means that from the 65%, if you figure that, you're coming up to a price of 208. That doesn't even include your fee plus the repairs. So if he's talking about $15,000 worth of repairs, which you haven't even confirmed yet, and you want to make $10,000 on this, that means that you got to go 25,000 off of the 208. So if you go to 208,000 minus the 25,000 minimum, 183 is your number.
Oh, okay.
Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
What's the number, Victor?
183.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
that's
All right.
that's 65% loan to value. 65% being
Got it.
320. 65% of 320,000 being 208, minus the $15,000 for the repairs that you estimated. That's a number you gave him, so he has no verification of that. But let's assume that number's right. And then if he wants to make 10,000 on it, right?
Yeah.
Which that's probably going to be that's a reasonable amount to try to make on this deal, right?
Yeah.
So you want to make 10,000. So now your number is 183.
Okay. So I forgot to add the
Yeah.
10. Yeah.
So
Okay.
and we don't know about any mortgage scenario or anything like that, how much he owes on the property. If he mentioned it, I missed it or something. But if let's say his mortgage is 200, this is not a wholesale deal, period.
Okay.
Right? That's literally a short sale where he's bringing money to the table. That's not doable. So
Okay.
you need to know those numbers before you jump out there with a cash offer on something like this.
Okay.
Right? Otherwise, so right now we're moving into the territory where, and if you look at this, and I'm gonna, you guys just hold on the role play for a second. If you look at this, and anybody can chime in if they want, do we have is this a wholesale deal or is this a lease option deal?
It's a lease option deal if he accepts full cash. But if he paying cash, it's a wholesale deal.
No, I don't see it being a lease option deal. And the reason why I say that is because there's too much repairs to do to the property. Right? The only way, because a lease option basically means that you're going to go find a renter. There is only one scenario that I could see working here. If you buy you find a guy.
Oh, I thought it was ready to be rented. I'm sorry. I came in on the butt end.
It's all right, my friend.
If you find a guy that wants to put like some sweat equity on it.
Some sweat equity on there, but now you've also reduced your potential buyers down to a smaller pool of people, right? And if we're going to succeed at this game, that is a secondary option, not a primary option, right? You don't want to start off with a smaller pool of potential buyers.
Okay.
Right. So, the fixer up guy, yeah, he's out there, but obviously there's a whole lot less of those than there are move-in buyers. Right. The move-in buyer pool is a whole lot bigger than the handyman special guy.
Okay.
So those are things that you have got to sort of figure in your mind as you're going through this conversation and trying to figure out where you're going to take this property to. So right now you're at 183 with a potential 10,000 to you, $15,000 in repairs, and being able to sell to a wholesaler at 65% loan to value, right?
Yes.
So those are your wholesale numbers.
183. All right.
183. So
would it be beneficial if I tell him the numbers now or wait until the wife comes in?
You can tell him now. I mean, there's no need to have any more conversations if it's an absolutely no go. If he doesn't bite on this, he can't sell his wife on it. And there's no point in trying to get his wife on the line only to tell her that, you're going to give her information that is of no deal, right?
And I can fire him if he doesn't agree.
Basically, if it doesn't make any sense and it's starting to shape up, even though his motivation is high, the numbers are starting to work against you.
Yeah, that's true.
Does that make sense? So
Makes
his
sense.
motivation is high, but the numbers are starting to work against you unless you can figure out some sort of Now, I have some things in mind, but we're not going to go to break this all down. There is a way for you to close this deal creatively, but we're going to stay on track in terms of it's either a wholesale deal or it's a lease option deal, right? It's starting to move away from lease option, and anybody can chime in if they like, but it's starting to move away from lease option because people aren't lease optioning houses that need $15,000 worth of repairs.
Mm-hmm.
Because even if I'm a handyman, right? Now I'm coming in, I'm paying a deposit up front, I'm paying a monthly, payment on the property, right? A rent slash, purchase payment on the property every single month. And now on top of that, I have to come up with repair money in a house that's barely livable in terms of, the way he described it. Right? So now you have got to figure out a little bit about whether you just want to fire him. And it really is about, what you want to do now. Am I ready to go forward with this and do the work necessary with this? Or do I have another creative method that I can, figure out in here?
Okay.
Okay.
How would he be able to go forward if he don't know the mortgage balance on the house?
I'm sorry?
How would he be able to go forward if he doesn't know the balance on the mortgage?
Well, there's that part, right? You need to find out now. You got to go back to the money, because if you're at 183 and his mortgage payment is 200, this deal is over.
Yeah, I was thinking that he needed to find out some more about the money also, because he could have a potential subject too if the guy need to get out.
There's that part. Yeah.
Not really, because he's been living there for a while, so.
Well, it's vacant now.
Oh, it's vacant. Yeah.
It's vacant now. So, if he can carry it, because like I was saying about building the relationship, we don't really, you haven't even at this point asked him, what does he need to make this work for him? And can he wait on any of it?
Hmm.
If he can wait on some of it, do you see where I'm going with this? If he can wait on some of this money, you just kind of take it out from under him right now, you do your repairs and whatever, then when it's all dissolved at the end, can we pay you then?
Hmm.
So there's some ways that this might actually be able to work. It's really about solving his problem. Can I solve his problem? Right? And if his problem is, I don't want to make any more of these payments, what if, okay? So, this has turned into one of the best role plays because there's so much nuance in everything that's been created right now. John, you still able to continue? I see you moving.
Yeah, I'm here. We're good.
Okay, good. Okay, all right. All right, back on the role play.
Awesome. So where were we? So as I was saying, so with your wife, I know she's on title, so we would have to talk to her as well. So we're gonna talk to her at 7 p.m. tonight. The offer that we're looking at, it's about 208. 183. 183.
Yeah, if you blurt out 208, he will never forget it.
I know, right? I had a circle on the numbers on my paper.
Yeah, cross it out, erase it. Yeah, if you ever mention it, they will never forget it.
I know. So it's about 183. We would be able to, close you within 10 days, 10 to 15 days, and also no commission.
Okay.
No realtor's fee.
Time out.
Right.
You can't close, I would buy myself, I wouldn't ever promise 10 days, especially on a repair deal. I wouldn't promise 10 days on any deal. Really, like I'm not closing in 10 days. I'll give you 30 days at minimum. We might be able to close in 10 days, but if you promise that, now you put yourself in a bind.
Okay.
Right? What if you can't find a buyer? What if all the stuff that goes wrong in real estate starts to happen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a 10-day. This is not a 10-day deal for sure, because you're going to need to do some inspections. You're going to need to get some stuff. You're going to need to find out how much it's going to cost you to repair this thing. You're going to need to get some fillers in terms of seeing if you can find a handyman buyer. There's a lot of work to be done on this particular deal. So you have to get off of your script right now and start to listen to what he said. Do not promise anything like 10 days, because you're setting yourself up to get really, embarrassed. And now you're going to have an antagonistic relationship because he's going to be pissed 10 days from now when we're nowhere near closing this.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
No, it makes sense. So
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
promise
Give
anything.
yourself the maximum amount of time. Whenever you're negotiating, double the amount of time that you're looking at least, and let him work your way back. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I can't wait. No, I can't wait 60 days. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have 2 payments in 60 days. Okay, well, I'm probably gonna need that much time for, to put all these ducks in a row. We have a situation here where there's a lot of work to be done to this house, and I really want to help you solve this problem, but I'm gonna need some time to get put a lot of things in order.
Okay. So do we actually, we don't have to say the date, right?
No.
All right. It's
Yeah.
better that we don't say the date then.
Yeah.
All right.
Avoid anything that's going to force you into a corner.
Okay.
Right? Because you're forcing yourself into a corner by promising 10 days. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's not
okay.
happening. Okay, go ahead.
So let me just talk to him about the wife and then give him a number.
Okay.
All right. So yeah. So the cash offer that we would be able to give you would be 183. Because 183 with the repairs in place, and in this case, I would assume that we're gonna have to talk to your wife at 7 p.m. tonight. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah, I definitely will have to, run it by her, and see what she says as well. And I was all saying, as long as it makes sense, for her and for myself, then we can move forward from there. Now, do you have anybody who can be able to, or do you know somebody who can get the repairs done at a less expensive price, or to maybe take our that 183 up to 208?
183 up to what?
208.
That's gonna be difficult, but I can try to help you out and see if I'm be able to find a pool of my on my network that I have a lot of people that I work with, and see what I
Okay.
can do for you. But at this
Okay.
point, our price is firm due to repairs and things that we would have to put things in order for the property.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay.
Uh,
So all right. So let's talk to your wife tonight. All right. And well, can you, as long as you can confirm with me, like in the next 2 to 3 hours would be great, and I can clear my schedule and we can have a 3-way call. All right.
Okay. I'll definitely be contacting her right when we get off, and see where she's at, and then we can go from there and see what we can be able to do.
All right, man. Great. Thank you very much for your call.
I appreciate your time, brother.
Bye.
All right, you guys. Great job. Thank you so much. That was fantastic. You guys really put it in. John, man, check you out, bro. Yeah, first time doing the whole role play thing, man. You brought it like you knew what you was doing.
That was really good.
Yeah, appreciate you, man, for sure.
Thanks for the feedback, Victor. It was great.
You're very welcome. Yeah. So,
is there one thing I can say?
Absolutely.
As being the buyer,
yeah,
the number one thing I would have probably done a little bit more of is digging with the seller, building more of a relationship. You know what I mean? To kind of have that, like even when you talk to the wife, like, I already got a relationship with your husband, we're cool, and it's just like kind of like finding more out about him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like a little bit like, so what do you do? Or, oh, so you guys raised a kid in the house. How many kids do you have?
Yeah.
Just those little simple things to just kind of like bring that stress down, or so that you become more likable.
Yeah.
So that's like, you know what? Even if the numbers don't make sense, I'll deal with him. I like him.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So the reason, and I appreciate that feedback, John. That's good stuff. So John sells furniture over the phone to people, right? Furniture. And if you ever heard him on the phone, you would trip out. And what he's talking about is his ability to really get relationship with people and call them right back and tell them something is out of stock and have enough relationship to just change the order. Like, if you ever want, like, it's amazing that he's able to do that, and he does it doing exactly what he's talking about in terms of having a relationship with them, you know, building a friendship, and then being able to go back in and say, look, I don't have that, but I'm gonna look out for you on this. Take a look at this real quick and tell me what you think about that. And then he'll sell them on, you know, another product, another something, but he won't lose the sale. Right? And so that's where he's going with that. And it's a good lesson in every type of sales, is that relationship, that thing that we do that allows us to plug into that person on a level where they're like, you know what? I like this guy, I trust this guy or lady, and I want to do business with them. And even if the numbers don't necessarily, you know, fit exactly like I want them to, I have some wiggle room because I think this guy will get it done for me.
Mm-hmm.
That type of thing. So good feedback, John. Appreciate you for that, bro.
Hey, Victor, can I ask you a question?
Certainly, sir.
So in the agenda and the role play,
yeah,
the way it's set up with the 3 minutes, within 3 minutes you should be determined the factor of how bad he wants, a motivation factor.
Yeah, that's what you're trying to get to in that first 3 minutes.
6 or better after 3 minutes, then you can proceed to get that bonding and stuff going, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. In the first 3 minutes, you should have, there's 2 things that I look for in the first 3 minutes, right? Look for the motivation level and see if we can take this, you know, get him up to 8, 9, or 10. I can usually figure that out early on in the conversation. But there's also something that's personal that I look for in that first 3 minutes. Do I want to do business with this person?
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, do I want to do business with this person? Because if they're a dick, excuse my language, if they're a jerk, if there's somebody who is, you know, like, they're going to be difficult, like, I can see that I'm getting ready to swim in thorns for the whole time we're in this relationship, I'll let it go. Like, you know what? I don't have time to have my life be complicated like that. I don't have time to bleed all over this right here. You know, I can always just look at another deal. Well, I say that, and the truth is, if the numbers are so attractive, I might have to put up with you, but you're going to have to pay for it. Does that make sense? I mean, if I'm gonna put up with you, you're gonna have to pay for it because you're a jerk. And but you know, you do have something that I want, so you know, I'm willing to wade in this pool with you.
Got it.
Victor, I got a question.
Sure.
When it comes to the agenda, I've been doing the agenda with some people, and as soon as I finish, they ask me, "Are you an agent? Are you a real estate agent? Why is that, you think?"
Well, probably because you're just sort of methodical in your questioning, like an interrogation.
Mm.
So, you know, you kind of go this question, this question, this question, this question, more so than you are in relationship. And again, there is a bridge that you're going to cross, especially you specifically, Mag, where you're going to move from interviewer to relationship creator. Right? Because right now you're still thinking, and that you're new to the game. So it absolutely makes sense that you're thinking about the process. So you're going step A, step B, step C, step D in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Because even when we were going off the role play and coming back, you were still going to step A, step B, step C, like that. And I know that that's not who you really are in real life.
Yeah.
Like in real life, I'm pretty sure I can tell that you're a friend maker, right? You can probably bond with anybody in a room and people like you and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
But right now, there's a certain disconnect between you trying to remember the process and connecting with the other person just as a human being, right? And so that's maybe why they're going there with you, because it's so to the point.
Okay.
you know, and even if they go there, it's really not the end of the world, right? Oh no, I'm not a real estate agent. I'm actually, you know, I'm an investor. I work with a team of investors, and we're actually looking to buy a property in your area, and we like to get it done this week if at all possible. And your property look like the ideal prospect. I'd like to ask you some questions about it. You can ask me some questions. If we have a match, you know, great. If not, you have permission to fire me. How's that sound?
Okay.
Great. You get what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
but really, all I'm doing is I'm just responding to what they're saying more so than I'm
Sound like
trying
you've been
to
doing
be
that a while,
on.
though.
I'm sorry?
So it sound like you've been saying that a while.
It's not my first rodeo. Hey, Jimmy, what's up, baby? No time, man.
How you doing, Vic?
I'm doing
How's
good.
everything?
Oh, I can't complain, buddy. Good to have you, man. You got any feedback for us?
Yeah, I was listening to Mag, and John had asked him a question towards the end where he could have actually did a redirect on that question that John had asked him. What were you actually planning to do with the property? Because probably John had a different idea than Mag actually had, you know? So that's thing I would have just said, you know, that's a great question. You must be asking me that for a reason. What is it? To find out what is it that John really trying to, you know, ask me so I can actually base my questioning off of whatever he asked me.
Oh, and I just want you to know that I have completely ripped you off of that exact phrase.
No problem.
I use it all the time. That's a great question. Is there a reason why you're asking that? You know, I appreciate you asking that. That's a great question. Is there a reason why you're asking that? You know, and it is such a great redirect to actually have them dig a little bit deeper and even move them off of their automatic response mode, because we all have the automatic response thing, especially if we're getting phone calls about the same thing over and over. And now you have a pattern start to develop with the people who are calling you. Now you start to develop your automatic responses that you're going to give them when they ask you these questions. So that redirect that Jimmy's talking about is magical in terms of having them stop the automatic response cycle, move back into what is my real question and what am I really trying to say here? And now they have to think about it. Okay, so now that also moves you out of the annoying guy who's calling all the time over to the consultant, friend, trusted, you know, associate position that you want to be in. Would you agree with that, Jimmy?
I totally agree. You're right on that.
Yeah. So that's what we, you know, man, this is so rich. There's so many levels of this that you brought up, Mag, and you know, hopefully you're getting some value out of this in terms of, you know, being able to move you.
Victor,
Okay,
what about
thanks,
if
Philip.
he what about if he didn't accept the cash?
I don't know if it's happening for everybody else, but your audio is really.
What other offer now?
Okay, try it again, Jimmy. Your audio was really bad.
What about now?
Yeah, that's
what
better.
about now?
Yeah, that's better.
I said, what about if he presented the cash offer and also he didn't accept the cash, and then you guys went for a lease option? What other offer you guys have in mind if he didn't accept both of the previous offers?
Yeah, that's a good question, because right now you're in a situation, and we can kind of play with this. You're in a situation where you have a whole bunch of work that needs to be done on this property before it's actually inhabitable, or there's the buyer that you can go to, you know, the handyman special guy, right? So you can advertise for that right away. The one thing that I would probably try to do on this scenario is, look, Mr. So we have a situation right here. You know, the 183, that's actually the absolute best offer I can do on a cash situation, only because, you know, this is my business. I kind of do it as an investor, right? And so I have to be able to provide value to the people that I work with, and anything above 183, I'm not able to do that. So now, are you sure you can't do the 183? Is the 183 completely off the table for us? Yes. Okay. Okay. So here's my only other option. I can give you, you know, the price that you're looking for minus the repair cost. But I'm probably going to have to put that into effect, and you may have to wait, you know, 2 months before I can cash you out in any meaningful way. Can we talk about that a little bit? And what I'm doing there is I'm trying to see if I can buy some time to maybe come up with the money to maybe do the repairs, have him hold on while making the repairs, put me on in a position to do it, get the repairs done, and now I can bring it up to a value where I can actually, you know, sell it at full price or above full price. But I'm not at risk.
And you could also wholesale a situation like that, right?
Yeah. Well, you can wholesale it, but yeah, you can. You mean the final contract that I just talked about?
Yeah, that agreement. You could assign that.
Yeah, you can wholesale the agreement if the agreement includes those things, right? Like, okay, you got to. I can sell you some. I bought you some time, and here's what you're going to have to do, and this is what it's going to cost you. You know, whatever. But you know, it becomes kind of complicated at that point because you have got to figure out the numbers and you've got to know exactly what you're doing. It's not probably something I would recommend for you to do as your first or second deal. In this case, I would probably just walk away because you don't have a real attractive lease option scenario right now, right? Because you have too much work to do, and you don't.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Herbert.
I didn't mean to cut you off. What I was going to say is it's kind of starting to sound like a short-term seller financing situation.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Where he's going to hold on to this note for a little while. Let me do some work on it, you know, do some short-term financing, and then we catch him out once everything is caught up. But again, it can get a little complicated, and it's not necessarily what I would do on, you know, without experience. Like I probably wouldn't venture here. If you can get it under contract and then try to sell the contract, but you still at that point have to know how to explain it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've noticed some flippers they're actually looking for that because their hard money lenders are lending out at really high interest rates. So if you can get something on a land contract and then wholesale that, yeah. But yeah, like Victor says, you got to explain it.
Yeah, you got to explain it. So if you don't know what it is, it's going to be hard for you to sell it. But like, you know, just like Neil said, there are some options. You can do some creative stuff here. You know, you can solve his problem and make some money on this deal, but it's not going to be a quick turn. It's going to be some involvement here. You're going to have to do that.
You know, Victor, I was actually thinking that with this right here, he said he don't want to make another payment. It's stressful. Yeah. What if a subject to? Is there some mortgage on it?
I don't even, did we get to the mortgage? I don't think so. We got that. Yeah. So we don't know enough right now. We don't know enough right now based on that particular conversation to know if we actually have the dynamics in place.
Right. That's the reason he was going back in with the money. I mentioned that earlier, remember?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So as a role play, we didn't have enough information right there because we were basically just moving to determine and I you know said that early. We're going to just determine if we have a wholesale deal or a lease option deal. Right. Now, all the creative stuff obviously can be plugged in, you know, if you have the experience or the knowledge. But if you don't, and you're just looking for one of two things, wholesale deal, well, you're typically going to look at one of three things, right? A wholesale deal, a lease option, or a seller carryback. And if you don't have those, and then you don't have the experience to do the other things, then, you know, you might just on to the next one on this, or you might, you know, have a conversation with the group like this and see if you can come up with some scenarios that make sense and, you know, revisit the conversation later. right? Get some more input, get some more knowledge, talk to your mentors, talk to the group, and, you know, create a scenario that works, and then, you know, maybe go back and reintroduce it. But if you don't know what you're doing, don't start introducing it only to have to back out or, you know, cost yourself money or, you know, look unprofessional. That makes sense? That's some good stuff, man. You guys are bringing the noise. Like, this is good. This is good. Neil was right on point with the land contract, and like he says, the private lenders are lending at such high interest rates. If he can get the seller to carry this note for a little while the work gets done at a attractive interest rate, it's definitely a deal that you can sell. But again, you're going to have to know enough about the deal in that structure to explain it to them.
You might even have more buyers for those deals.
Yeah, because you're avoiding them having to go to a private lender. You're avoiding them having to pay upfront costs for the private lender. You're avoiding them having to pay excessive interest rates for the private lender. You could be helping them a lot. So, you know, it might be something that you might want to, you know, bone up your skill set in, right? I know I am, because it's starting to you know, move some gears in my head about that too. And Neil is absolutely right. There's people out there right now that's, you know, they're looking to save money every way they can. And if they can improve their cash on cash return on these deals, you can sell them. Right? You guys got any more questions? It's 11 o'clock right now. It looks like, you know, man, this was just super
this was
strong.
a good role play.
Yeah.
Victor, you did a great job today. It was a great role play.
Thanks, Jimmy.
When are we doing it again?
I'm sorry?
When are we doing it again?
We do it every Wednesday, Hervik. We do it every Wednesday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Pacific time.
That's kind of far in between.
Hervik trying to get me to work harder, man. I got to make money, right? I got to make...
You're right. Yes, sir.
I got to do something in between, my man. But hey, look, we definitely appreciate having you on, man. You have an open invitation. I'd love to have you on here every week. You know, because you obviously have a skill set. You obviously can contribute to the conversation, and that's really all we're trying to do, man. Is trying to everybody up our game together, help everybody win. Just, you know, super excited.
I'm happy to be here, and I'm an open book. If anybody ever has questions, man, I kind of almost almost kind of got out of the business trying to mess with the fix and flips, and I just kind of, the last 3 months I started focusing back up on wholesaling and kind of starting, you know, now I'm feeling good again. You know, I'm back on the wave, back full throttle in the business.
Oh, I know exactly how you feel though. Fix and flips got me out the business for a while too, after they got in my pocket so deep that I was, you know, behind. So yeah. So, you know, you guys, let's just stay in this thing, man. There's an opportunity coming. There's a wave coming up right now with the circumstances that we're facing in the country, that we are going to be in a position to make a whole bunch of money if we get our skill set right. Because there's going to be a bunch of properties out there and a bunch of people who need our help, that we're going to be able to provide value. And for providing that value, they're going to be willing to pay us handsomely for it. Right? Let's just get it done. Hey, I appreciate all of you guys for tuning in every Wednesday. Love having you guys. I hope you're getting value, as much value out of it as we are. And we're getting a lot of good responses, man. People are saying a lot of good things. We're building a cool little audience. So you guys are providing value to a lot of people by, you know, sharing your experiences and your knowledge and asking questions and doing all that. So much love. Deuces to all of you guys, and we'll see you guys again next week. All right.
Thank you. Peace.
All right. You're welcome.
Thanks so much, Victor.
No, you're welcome, my friend.
Have a great rest of the week.
Same to you. Same to you. Let's go make some money, guys.
Yeah.
Do it.